where I have to click on.
Yeah,
I'm here.
it was confusing.
Hi, Aleksandra. Hi, Utena. Hi, everybody here.
Welcome, Jess, and can I call you Antonia?
Do we?
Yes.
Just let me know, Utena, when we are ready, or we are gonna to start sharing, please.
Yes. Let's please share the screen. Let's wait next a minute because sometimes it'll take a while to everyone get in this room. Koti, please share the screen. Are you able to share the screen? Okay, it's working.
Okay, then just a minute.
Yes.
Great. I don't know how to get out of this.
You do presentation
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. Let me try.
Now? Okay, you can see it?
Yes, but is it possible? Can you like a full share, like a full screen share? Can you
I'm
try?
actually fully sharing.
Oh,
I can see it fully. It's full on my screen.
okay. Maybe I have seen different screens, so that's okay. Let's get started. Thank you so much for joining this lab, especially Jess and Antonio. This is a level 6, number 6, which is sustainability of sourcing in luxury fashion. So this lab is hosted by research lab named, the name is System Change in Fashion 2024 within HxN. Can you move to another agenda? Can you another page? Great. As I'm not seeing screen correctly, so just like anyone can join in, and you can jump in if I didn't follow the screen. So today, we have next 20 minutes to discuss the sustainability of sourcing in luxury fashion. So I'm here, I'm Utena to facilitate this lab. And we have Koti and Az and Aleksandra from HxN. I wouldn't talk about HxN this time because like it's already presented, but I'm going to drop the information for you to see about to learn a bit about HxN. Do we have chat group in our section? Seems it's like a
Yes, I mean, you have a chat group here. Do you see it?
Yeah. Sorry, do you mind? Like, I actually can't see now if it's moving, like the presentation from agenda to like the slides.
Here. Do you see it here?
This is for the chat for everyone. That's why.
Oh, okay. So maybe not.
You have to go into, I think, the breakout room.
Breakout room and choose ask for help. Caption whiteboard. Okay. Let's don't do that. That's okay. So now everyone can see the screen.
I can see the screen, but I can't see it moving like from slide to slide.
Yeah,
now you see it moving?
It's still in the calendar. It's still in the title
the
page.
first one.
I'm gonna pause my video in case it's taking too much internet. Okay.
If not, like I'm going to try.
Okay, we'll share it again, okay? I'll try it one more
Okay,
time.
yes, now it's like a lab system changing fashion.
Oh, okay. But I will share it with the
Yes,
full
I see
screen.
that now.
Okay,
Okay.
I see slide 3 now.
perfect.
So just quickly, briefly explain about like a lab, our lab. Our lab is research lab is like trying to work on the research and discuss about solution of system changing fashion within H authors. This time we in this lab we are talking about resourcing sustainability of resourcing in luxury fashion. Can you move slide 5? I think I have we have a technical issue.
Yes, do you see it? Because I already,
No, I don't see it, but then maybe download it as a PDF and then
It is.
present as a PDF.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry, it's a PowerPoint. I can do
Yeah,
it.
PDF usually helps.
Okay,
Koti, I'm trying to share my screen, so can you stop
Sure.
sharing? Let me try. Sorry for the bits of confusion, but I can now supposed to be okay. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a PDF, it's so much easier. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. And today we are going to talk about the lab. This take a look of sourcing and luxury fashion materials, where it come from, and to think about system issue luxury in fashion industry. Before we jump in the discussion about the problem issue, let's discuss about a luxury fashion. Identify what is luxury fashion. Anyone wanted to talk about definition of luxury fashion here? Maybe I will ask Aleksandra. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I actually have a background in luxury fashion. I have an MBA in luxury fashion, like brand fashion.
Uh-huh.
And luxury fashion, in my opinion,
Mhm.
is scarcity, not necessarily price.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that just because it's expensive, it's a luxury, but it's more a scarcity and how it's made and craftsmanship.
That's great. And also, I wanted to ask about the same question to Aleksandra. She's a sustainable fashion coordinator and also teaching sustainable design and production in institute in Poland. Aleksandra, can you address your definition of fashion industry?
Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. And to me, if I would have to list the features that define luxury fashion, I would probably say it's exclusivity, inaccessibility, prestige, heritage, tradition. And on the other hand, it's also superior quality of design, material, tailoring, and also craftsmanship that was already mentioned. But to be honest, I wonder if this is the definition that is still relevant to the luxury fashion that we have today. Or is it maybe more stereotypical definition? So probably it's something that we should have in mind during this discussion. Maybe we will even answer this question in this discussion.
Yes, thank you, Jess and Aleksandra. It's interesting, none of you, both of you didn't mention about the price. It's about the background of the products. So because this theme is about sourcing, let's move to the next question. Which fabrics are commonly used in luxury fashion and why it perceived as a luxury?
Yeah,
Sorry, can I throw more light on one question, please?
Can you repeat the
Just
question?
briefly. Yeah, I think can I throw a little more light on the meaning of luxury fashion? More on a broader
Sure.
meaning. Okay, luxury fashion is as it says, has to do with clothing, made from high quality materials, usually done with care and attention. You pay attention while producing some of these clothes, and most of the dresses are being made with silk, leather, or wool. So these are some of the best materials that is being used to produce some of these high quality clothing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. That's like a really good point, because Jesse mentioned about like the craftsmanship, and also we talk about the materials, and the materials is very important part of the luxury. So which fabrics and materials are commonly used in luxury fashion, and why it's perceived as luxury? Aleksandra, do you have like any opinion about that?
Yeah, I would say that the first fabrics that would come to our minds when we think about luxury fashion would be high quality leather, exotic animal skins, fur, silk, that was also mentioned by Eza, wools like cashmere, vicuna, angora, or alpaca. Also maybe some high grade cottons such as supima or Egyptian cotton, and possibly also linen. So most of these fabrics are animal-based, which already raises ethical, environmental, and also social concerns regarding their sourcing and production methods. And on the other hand, we have also a lot of commonly used in the whole fashion industry, including fast fashion industry fabrics in luxury fashion. Like, for example, non-certified conventional cotton, or viscose, or we can even find in luxury brands virgin polyester. So now that would be the question: if we can call polyester still a luxurious fabric, yeah, that's really doubtful.
Jess, like you can jump in anytime for discussion if you have any opinion. Okay.
I totally agree with her answer, and also to add on to that, it's also when the environmental repercussions, like let's say for like leather, how much water are you using, what dyes are you using, are they organic, so forth and so on. And that's what I consider as luxury when it comes to luxury fabrics and or like natural resources that they're using to make these items. And also, are these animals byproducts of an industry? Because in Kenya here we have a huge leather industry, and most of the luxury brands here, at least, they communicate, some of them are greenwashing, but they communicate that the animals are a byproduct of the meat industry. But it also goes down to, yeah, how they're sourced and farmed, and also like, you know, like silkworms. And there's silkworms here as well, like how are they being used? And then also the second-hand market here is also really big. So like the Zara's and whatever, the fast fashion, there's actually a company here called African Collective, and they actually take your secondhand clothing or your clothing that's old, and then they break it down. So I think the process and the, in addition to what Alex said as well, but also the process and how it affects the environment is a luxury, I think, nowadays.
I think like because you tap into about like the very deep issue, I would like to move into this question, like that's like you to tap into a multiple problem about relating like fashion industry, like especially luxury fashion. You mentioned about like fast fashion too, but how audience, like how end consumer know these materials, like how source, like where, and how it comes from? Is it sustainable, or this is from which country, like how it's produced, like how we get know these products are come from, how, where?
I can jump in. Well, actually, the answer to this question is easy, but in the same time really frustrating, because we just don't have access to this kind of information about where the fabric actually comes from. And additionally, I think what is even more dangerous in the luxury fashion, customer might have a false impression that as they buy some product from luxury brands, it's like high price, it's some prestigious product. So they probably might assume that it's already ethically and ethically sourced, sustainably sourced. So that's even more dangerous, I would say. And they could, for example, assume, as we talked about leather, that if they buy some expensive leather bag from some famous luxury brand, they probably would think that the leather came from, for example, Italy. but it could at the same time come from China. It could come from Brazil, as Brazil is actually the largest exporter of leather to Italy. And in the same time, as was also mentioned, leather industry in Brazil is a major driver of deforestation in the Amazon rainforest. And that actually leads us to another issues of luxury fashion, which are actually, first of all, false labeling. And then the second one is false certification. Because this leather that was, for example, supposedly sourced in Brazil, it can come back imported to Italy, and it still will be labeled as Italian leather. So we have like two cases. We have lack of information, and we also can be misled by false information.
Like
I
as
have a question.
please.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Aleksandra, I remember when I was studying about origins and learning about, doesn't it have to be a percentage in Europe that's made there to say made in Italy, and the other percentage can be made in China or something like that? Is that still the case? Yeah, so you get misled.
Yeah, it is like this right now, that it can be labeled as Italian leather, even if only finishing processes were actually made in Italy. So yeah.
So like the zippers or the buckles or whatever, like maybe like 20% or something, and then like the finishing pieces, but then the actual whole thing is made elsewhere, and so as a consumer you're misled.
Yeah, exactly. The leather can be sourced from Brazil, and it will just come for the last touches to Italy, and it will be still labeled as Italian.
Yeah, okay. I remember that with Louis Vuitton as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also conducted an interview with like a merchandiser for Japan market who's working for several Italian brands, like a Prada and other like luxury brands. And we asked if she has opportunity to access the information where and how materials comes from, and before planning the seasonal purchase for the market. And she answered, except the iconic style, iconic style, all collection brands has iconic style. Those iconic style has like a detailed information, but I accepted that those styles like a very get information about it. So it's very interesting question. Like we believe this brand is sustainable or like a prestige. So based on the brief, we purchase the products, but actually like we don't have much access to the information. This is we wanted to raise the problem as a lack of transparency, and currently huge topic about traceability. Because of the time constraint, like I would like to jump into about like what solution we can discuss. It's like a very short lab, so we couldn't discuss everything, but let's talk, like open up like this. It's okay, just drop the idea what we can solve or how we can tackle this challenge. Maybe Aleksandra, can you start talking about it?
Yeah, so definitely, as you mentioned, to drive systemic change in the luxury fashion and actually generally in the fashion industry, implementing traceability and transparency in the entire supply chain, including also sourcing, would be crucial, because this solution itself would actually trigger a lot of different changes on a lot of different areas in the supply chain. It could like help us mitigate risk related to unethical practices, environmental degradation. It could also create an open communication with the customers. It could raise sustainable awareness. So yeah, we can achieve a lot by just this solution. But we have to say that this implementation of traceability and transparency in the entire supply chain is not an easy task. And it will actually require building a totally new system of operating for the brands, which can be supported by many innovative tools, initiatives, technologies that are already available, and to keep track of the product on each step of the life cycle. And that is, for example, RFID, digital product passport, digital twin, or just generally blockchain technology, which is also included in one of the Eco por Nosotros projects. But I would say that these technologies are just kind of supportive tool for this transition. We would need to put in the core of our businesses values as sustainability and circular economy, and actually not even as the value of businesses itself, but all stakeholders in the entire supply chain. Because as we all probably know that supply chain in fashion industry is perceived as the longest, the most complicated, the most complex, the most fragmented in the entire industry in the world. So for this kind of system, for this kind of transition to work, we just have to work together. So we need partnership, we need collaboration, and only then we can actually achieve this systemic change, like step by step.
I would like to add something.
Uh-huh.
It's like a question, but I feel like more often than not the problem comes down to budgeting. Like at the end of the day, it's like there's no more budget to buy the more conscious material, so they end up buying the made in China or whatever is the case. So yeah, I believe like realistically in the office it comes to that problem.
That's like I think it's a really great point. Like that's true. Realistically, I'm also working in fashion brands. Like I worked for more prestige brand rather than luxury brand. But like the realistically, behind the price, like a consumer believe this is supposed to have certain budget, like no budget, but a certain like a value to buy qualified products. But in reality is not like as you mentioned, there is a problem like the budgeting problem. I think it's like it's opened up a different conversation, but this is a bit strange from consumer perspective because the luxury product is generally speaking it's expensive, like the prestige price. So consumer believe this is a value. So how that price goes, how the money goes, like a marketing, branding, and there's like another article maybe I could share later on, but this was it Bubbly? Some brand was like criticized that they didn't pay for proper price for production artisans, like artisan working on production. So I think it's like a multiple problem is including of the luxury brands, I would say.
Yeah, I also think that luxury brands have budget for this. I don't think so they have problem with that. I think it's like a lot of different reasons why they don't want to share, for example, their supplier list. And this will be, for example, one of the reasons will be that they just don't know anything about their suppliers. Another reason will be they just don't want to share it because they feel like it's like their secret and they just want to be like competitive in the market. So they have different reasons. And I would say that budget would be just one of them. It wouldn't be the main reason why they don't want to go so deeply into transparency. So yeah, as I mentioned, I would say that this is the main problem, that they still don't put sustainability as their core. It's also like kind of a side project all the time. So that's why they will never put their budget there, because for them it's just something they have to do for marketing. They don't really feel like they are like obliged to do this, that they should do it. Yeah. So
yeah, that's greenwashing 100%.
Yeah.
But do you think it's also the responsibility of the people making sustainable fabrics or the communities working with sustainable process to find ways to do things in a more cheaper, like more competitive in the market price, so you can actually compete? Or is it a thing of the luxury brands that they should like grow their budget and sell more expensive?
I don't, because obviously when it comes to that, because a lot of the times when it comes to natural fibers and so forth and so on, it's something of heritage within cultures that are passed down from like, you know, weaving, so forth and so on, and cotton. And so I don't think they have the capacity or the money. So what happens, I feel like these brands find out about them and exploit them. So that is where I have the issue with the exploit. So like, let's say the Western brands, like obviously I'm from Kenya, and we have a lot of weaving and beading especially. And then the Western brands come here and just try to exploit. So I don't think comes down to there. I think it's the Western brands that need to be accountable and actually be like, and actually set, or some kind of governing council or something has to set a certain kind of level of like, this is how much you're going to pay for this, blah, blah, blah. Like labor costs, like it can't be below labor because you're getting it from a third world or developing country, right? So that's where I see the issue.
I think
Okay,
like
let me just come in a bit. You know, for the fact that you know, luxury fashion, the raw materials they are mostly, you know, natural, you know, found materials, right? So, and the process, I guess what makes it expensive is the process, you know, in putting these materials together. So if there will be a way where they will introduce artificial intelligence, AI, you know, that will come in and, you know, help the process, right? Because it takes time. What I've noticed in fashion, when you produce something that takes you a longer time, naturally you should sell at a higher price, right? But when we introduce some of this technology to help, you know, make the process faster, yeah, it's going to help, you know, normalize you know, the prices in the market. Thank you.
thank you for sharing like interesting like the perspective. Maybe, yeah, that's true. Maybe technology could help to change the system. And also, I think it's not easy to answer to question to Antonia. Just like we spend more money and everything spend more money to the materials, and the luxury brand increase the price more. It's not easy answer, and like we also discuss about the consumer responsibility. Antonia's question is like, is all responsibility comes to the luxury brand? Brand has responsibility of everything. I don't think so, because we don't think so. We also discuss like a consumer education is also part of very like a important role. Like we have to think about the consumer education, because consumer need is also responsible to purchase what type of products. Like they need to understand, I try to understand like where it comes from, how it produced, like rather than trust brands 100%. And but like for now we don't have a system to how to track. So Aleksandra, can we talk a bit about like, traceability now?
Yeah, so as I already mentioned, some of the tools that are available now already, and actually some of them will be already implemented in Europe, as for example, digital product passport. So this is actually I don't know if everyone knows exactly what this scheme is about, but it will be basically required by 2030 for every fashion and textile product sold within the European Union. So it will also be a requirement for luxury brands. So it is actually the system where each cloth will have a QR code, and through this code, customers can get all the information about the whole supply chain, also how the product can be recycled, what is the exact product material composition, what is the origin, how it can be disposed safely. So I think that we already have some solutions for the traceability, and some of them that will actually happen are like confirmed. So yeah, I would say it's possible. And actually another thing that I would like to mention, in the last Fashion Revolution Transparency Index, actually on the second place was Gucci. So it's really possible to be a transparent brand. Actually, Gucci had a score of 80% of transparency, and that's already amazing. But what is even more amazing, that they actually achieved to have 20% higher score than they had last year. So yeah, it's indeed possible to do this progress with, I think, big budgets that they have, and there is lots of tools for it to actually happen. So yeah.
I have a question. So, in retail store in European countries, are you able to see this like a passport? Are you able to see a passport? The QR code is already happening in luxury brands, or it's coming?
It is not happening in luxury brands yet. It is happening already in some actually fast fashion brands.
Yeah,
can,
I know.
Yeah, we can spot it in like ASOS, Mark and Spencer already. And but by 2030, like it will be just obligatory. Yeah? So they will have to adjust to it. They should already actually work on it because it's not going to be easy to implement it. So they probably already working on it to implement it in time.
When you say QR codes, do you mean like each garment would have this code that will help you trace the material, who made it, everything? That's what.
Yes, exactly. It will be on the label.
Okay.
Doesn't that already happen with like Ikeokwu? Like if you like the luxury reselling websites, they give you a code and then you can find the code. Is it similar to that?
Not exactly, I would say, because this one is actually like a solid scheme from European Union. So I think it will work a little bit different.
So it's regulated.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
already regulated and it's going to happen like 100%. So that's actually a hope. But yeah, till 2030, we have a lot of time. And I don't think so we have so much time actually.
So how it looks
6
like
years.
is there is a tag in the clothing, right? And then the tag, it has QR code. And you scan the QR code, you have like the information about the materials and how it comes from, where it comes from, all the information. But as she said, like it's implemented only like couple fast fashion brand, right? Not every.
Yeah. For now, it's only a few.
And Jess, I think it's a good point. Like the second-hand market is supposed to be implemented. I think it's like a bit gray zone, I feel like, because that's like it's a huge market, but I'm not sure like this regulation in European Union is going to implement the second-hand market or not. Maybe it's going to be take time for this tap into this industry, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I think already this change will be huge. It's like really, I think that the brand's already preparing, even though we have lost like, let's say 5 years till the time. So I think till it will get to the second-hand market, yeah, it will take a bit time to.
Jess and Antonia, I just sent the list of the materials like we refer and to prepare for this like a lab, so you can take a look some information about this, what we talked and what we wanted to talk. So when after the lab, I think you have time to discuss and take a look the and read the documents and articles and reports.
Okay, so actually I'm not very familiar. So after the lab, then what is the after, like what happens afterwards then, after we look at the document?
No, it's like it's nothing happened. So this is like a kind of interactive lab, especially this lab is trying to design like interactive. It's just like open discussion. And then what if like you two are very interested in this conversation to continue? I would like to welcome you to join our lab in H por nosotros.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm a volunteer for HNX. Yeah, I am. So yeah. Yeah. But my main contact is Michaela.
Do you know Sophia?
No, I do not.
Can you give me a LinkedIn profile? Then I will reach out to you.
Yes, of course. Yes, I'll do that right now.
Amazing.
Utena, I think I have the personal data of Jess. I think she answered one of my emails I sent. So asking if she was active in the organization.
Yeah.
I can share that too.
Cool.
Oh, yes, yeah, Constanza, yeah, you did, for sure. It was like last week.
Yes,
I remember.
Oh, okay, great. Like, please join us in the WhatsApp group and then we can continue the discussion. That'll be great.
Okay, so let me put my WhatsApp number right now in the group.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I'm gonna
Yes,
invite you.
please.
5195. There we go. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. So sorry, because of the bit of some technical issue, we didn't have a full time, but it was very interesting conversation. Jess, is anything you wanted to add on before we finish this lab?
No, I mean, I need to look at the document, but I'm just very interested because also in Kenya here, we're really into sustainability. It's the third largest UN in the world. And there's a lot of fashion and design and everything that happens through here, and people are very conscious, but then also there's a secondhand industry. So the only thing I just want to see the conversations that we can have further on about spreading the word here about how what we have talked about today and spearheading some kind of project.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Antonia, do you want to say something? Do you want to add on something before we wrap up the meeting?
No, I think it was very useful conversation. I just had a last question. You said there was an advanced agenda for 2030. Is this agenda does it come from the UNESCO specifically, or where does this agenda come from? And is this the agenda that is pushing new asking stuff from the luxury brands that they have to complete certain stuff before 2030? I don't really understand where this agenda comes from.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, just before you answer, Aleksandra, is there also going to be a fine if they don't?
Sorry?
Fine. Is it going to be
Yeah.
Yeah, so
just to add on to that question.
I would just first answer because I think we have to go. I added link about this digital product passport as well on the list that was shared with you, so you can read more. But yeah, this is agenda made by European Union, and it is required by 2030, and it is not only for luxury fashion, it is for the whole fashion industry and textile industry within the European Union. So everybody that would like to sell products in European Union from fashion industry, textile industry, they have to just have digital product passport.
Oh, okay. This is made by the UNESCO.
Yeah.
United Nations and European Union. This is a 2013 agenda. There is so many goals we have to tackle by 2013. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool.
Hola. Se nos cortó en una parte buenísima.
Nos han jalado por la prepa, muy bien, hay que respetar el tiempo también.
Sí, cuando se pone más lindo siempre termina, no sé qué pasa, es así la vida. Por eso tenemos que apurarnos así. Bueno. Hello, how was the experience?
Where are you from, Trish?
Oh, I'm originally from London, but I am in the west coast of America, in Portland.
Thank you.
Okay, so are we all together here again? Well, the idea now is that each of the labs can share their insights, one representative from each lab. Can you help me with a list? So, for example, we can begin with the lab of the ones that didn't present in advance, like a system change in fashion, could be. Utena?
Yes, this is Utena. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. We have very interesting conversation. Our lab is discuss about sustainability of sourcing in luxury fashion, because we have the participants who has experience in fashion and especially luxury area. We have very interesting interactive conversation we had. So the sourcing has very tricky area. Currently, the especially European Union is focused on the traceability, but reality, we talk about the reality, what is challenge are, what challenge are, and how we tackle. And it wasn't about only sourcing. We also tap into multiple discussion about the